Investment News Friday, January 9th, 2026. January 9th, 2026, 5 a.m. ET. Taking Alpha News Weekly Investment Quiz. Number 1. Historic pattern of low quality stocks. Outperforming quality in January. Outperforming quality in January is also known as what? The answer is dash for trash. Explanation. Describing the dash for trash, BOFA said, since 1987, the lowest quality stocks, C and D, by S&P quality ranks have outperformed the highest quality stocks, A+ rated nearly 80% of the time in January. Number 2. Which company outtook Tesla, TSLA, as the world's biggest seller of all electric vehicles? The answer is BYDF. Overtake, overtook, overtaken, to go past something by being a greater amount or degree. While Tesla saw sales slump in Europe and China in 2025, BYD Corp, BYDF, continued to gain traction, topping Tesla for 5 straight months for global deliveries. BYD reported about 2.26 million fully electric vehicles sold in 2025, up roughly 28% from the previous year. Tesla globally deliveries fell by about 9% in 2025 to 1.64 million vehicles. Venezuela and Saudi Arabia ranked number 1 and number 2 in terms of proven crude oil reserves. What country ranks next on the list? Iran. After Venezuela and Saudi Arabia, Iran hosts the third largest proven crude oil reserve in the world, with approximately 208 billion barrels of oil under current reserve classifications. This place is just behind the two leaders and ahead of other major holders like Canada and Iraq. Number 4. Which of the following sequels is not currently slated for release in 2026? The answer is Star Wars Episode X. The list of potential blockbusters scheduled for release in 2026 include Disney's The I.S. Toy Story, as well as Jumanji 3rd and Spider-Man. Brand New Day, both from Sony, SONY, and while the Star Wars branded in Mandalorians and Grogu is due out, a direct sequel to 2019's Star Wars Episode 4. The Rise of Skywalkers is not just immediate horizon. Number 5. The company said it expected $17 billion in unrealized loss on digital assets in Q4 related to the fall of the price of the Bitcoin. Strategy Inc. Explanation. Strategy Inc. renamed MicroStrategy reported approximately $17.4 billion unrealized loss on its digital assets holdings, mostly Bitcoin, for fourth quarter of 2025. The loss was a paper loss driven by decline in Bitcoin's price late in the quarter, forcing the company to mark its Bitcoin holdings for fair value under accounting rules. Number 6. While most oil stock rose following U.S. action in Venezuela, this segment of the oil sector saw declines in aftermath. Canadian energy stocks. Explanation. After the U.S. moves in Venezuela, the U.S. oil refining stocks rose on expectations of increasing Venezuelan crude flows to U.S. refineries. However, Canadian energy stocks declined as a potential influx of Venezuela heavy crude made Canadian heavy crude less competitive. Number 7. What Fund Street's Tom Lee predict for Bitcoin in January? Bitcoin will hit a new all-time high by the end of January. Explanations. Fund Street co-founder Tom Lee said he believes Bitcoin has not yet peaked and could reach a fresh all-time high before the end of January 2026, despite recent price volatility. He pushed outlook comment alongside comments about continued market swinging and the potential strength later in 2026. Number 8. Which social media company did information speculator could become acquisition target of OpenAI in 2026? Pinterest's explanation. OpenAI is reported planning its biggest acquisition yet, with Pinterest emerging as a potential target in 2026. The move could unlock powerful surgery and across AI shopping, visual search, and advertising by tapping into Pinterest's massive image library and merchant ecosystem. Explanation. The information predicted that PINS, a social with a user of base 600 million people, could become the acquisition target in 2026 with OpenAI as a potential buyer. The media outlet argued that OpenAI would be more interested in the bones of Pinterest business like TOF of image data existing advertising business. Number 9. Frame investor Howard Marks recently said this of a particular sector is currently the subject of the great enthusiasm. If enthusiasm doesn't produce a bubble forming to the historical pattern, that would be a first. What sector was Marx talking about? Artificial intelligence. Artificial explanation. Oak Tree Capital Management co-founder Howard Marks sent out a memo addressing one of the most pressing questions in today's financial markets. Is artificial intelligence a bubble? He quoted OpenAI founder Sam Altman. When bubble happens, smart people get overexcited about kernel of truth. And we in a phase where investors as a whole are overexcited about AI. My opinion is yes. Kernel. The kernel meaning of the kernel is a part of the nut that is inside the shell and can be eaten. Number 2, the whole seed of maize plants. Explanation. Howard Marks was referring to artificial intelligence sector, highlighting the intense excitement and the potential for the speculative bubble. Consistent with historical patterns of over-enthusiasm in news, transformative technologies as noted in early January 2026. Number 10. Which of the following segments of the tech sectors has already been breakneck rally in 2026? Memory and storage. Explanation. Memory, in particular high bandwidth memories, has experienced a shortage as data centers and GPUs gobbled up memories for their needs. Gobble to use a lot of your supplies of something, usually is money. Gobbledygook, a language especially used in official letters, forming statements that seems difficult to mean nothing because you have to understand it. Big sectors expected to rally in 2026, and this gold stock continues to crush the markets. Three sections expected to rally in 2026. December 19, 2025. In 2023, the S&P 500 delivered a 24% return, followed by a 23% return in 2024. As 2025 comes to the close, investors are tracked to snap up another 16% by another 3 years. While music keeps playing, the investors have reason to caution. Consider that the back-to-back S&P gains more than 20% in 2023 and 2024 haven't happened since the late 1990s. Here's the list of the companies, the latest price, 7-day returns, 1-year return to market cap, analysis target, evaluates growth, dividend yield. BRK.A, Berkshire Hathaway, latest price, 758,900.1 US dollars. 7-day return 1.8%, 1-year return 11%. Market cap 1.1 trillion US dollars. Analysis target 739.50 US dollars. Valuates growth, PE 16.2x, 5.4%, and dividend yield none. Visa, latest price US 346.89 US dollars. 7-day return 6.2%. 1-year return 9%. Market cap 663.3 billion US dollars. Analysis targets 395.44 US dollars. Valuate PE 33.46x. Valuate growth 11% and dividend yield 0.8%. MA MasterCard, MS Morgan Stanley, GS Goldman Sachs Group, AXP American Express, BX Blackstone, BLK BlackRock, SCHW Charles Schwab, SPGI S&P Global, GD Quadrant, ALRS Allures Financial, TGR Op Fintech Holding, GTLP Cantaloupe.